Hey, we go. Hi. Hi, everyone. See, as people come on, let me check the channels. There's one. There's my page. Now we will get to my personal. I swear setting up the lighting today was crazy. Let's see here. Let's see. See if I am here. Oh, might actually work properly this time. Yes. There we go. Oh my gosh. I'm actually learning how to do this. Oh gosh. Sorry. My eyes have been tearing like crazy lately. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but goodness, hi. Angela's here. Some other folks are coming on, giving people a chance to pop on. How is it down under, Angela? Well, let's see. It's a lovely Sunday. Oh, right. It's afternoon there. I forgot. We have a 16-hour time change or something like that. So everybody's starting to tune in. So say hi from wherever you are. It's always good to see folks and wherever you're calling in from. I know this is a different time. I will talk about that as we. Yay! I wasn't sure if you would be able to make it, Richard. So welcome. Thank you for being. I am well now. It was a dicey week. That's why today's going to be. I'll tell you all about it when we do our weekly recap. But let's just say I had to have a lot of amusement, a lot of grounding, a lot of patience. In fact, I got more messages today saying thank you for your patience, and not today, but this week, than probably ever before. So what does that say? So I just had to stay in neutral and stay grounded and just let the chips fall where they may and just gather up and keep everybody calm. That's my job. Stay grounded and keep everybody calm. So, well, we're just waiting. We are gathering steam in some other places. So say hello wherever you are in the world. I know that, wherever you're coming in from. And I've got, again, I'm multitasking here, but at least, so we're streaming on my page, we're streaming on my profile, and then on YouTube as well. Best viewing is on YouTube. If you want to pop over there, we got a lively little discussion. But I think that maybe as people tune in, I might as well get going. So good morning, good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to, and I can't say TGIF today because it's not Friday, right? That was yesterday. So I'm just going to say welcome to Insight for the Curious and Enlightened Live. Here we are all together. I'm your host, Debbie Tatel from Spirit Light Insight. I am a clairvoyant, a mentor, a teacher, an author, all the things. So today we are going to explore a powerful astrological influencer that is happening today. And I'll tell you how this came about because you all know who have been showing up for these shows or know me, right? I'm not an astrologer, but I will go into the whole kind of how it got me here today to this particular place. But this astrological influence is happening today, January 20th, 2024. If you're watching this later, Pluto moves into Aquarius and will stay there for the next 20 years. And let me tell you, the energy is already upon us. And again, I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know how it hits. Um, but I do know that the energy is already here. Also, stick around for the meditation towards the end of the broadcast. Because of this really powerful influence, we're going to help you get your space and reset yourself, reset your energy in relationship with the unfolding shifts that are going to be happening not just in the short term, right? But for the next 20 years. I can't even imagine. I don't even want to tell you how old I'll be in 20 years. This is, you know, but all of us, right? But here's a fun fact before I kind of talk about how we even got to this, Pluto moving into Aquarius stage, right? Talk about the age of Aquarius. Woohoo. Um, but here's a fun fact. So, according to NASA, Pluto has a large red spot shaped like a heart. And when I looked at pictures of the planet, because I had to go down the Google rabbit hole at that point, it really does. It looks exactly like a heart. And I just thought, what a beautiful reminder to love more. And coincidentally, before I even saw that or looked at it, I actually changed my cover photo on Facebook to say love more. And I wrote a whole piece around it, but I didn't end up publishing it. So how is everybody? How was your week? How's everything been? How's the energy been in your world? I really do want to hear because I don't want to just talk about myself. I could, but I don't want to just talk about myself. So I would love to hear, how's your week been with the energy? Because it's been really, really chaotic. And to be honest, I was doing a 5-day fast. And so I had very few brain cells left by Thursday, it felt like. And so I kind of thought it was just me. Even though I was running energy every day, I was meditating, I was doing all the things that I do. Um, it just seemed like it was very what I call transmedium, which is really the spirit world is very active in making itself known and making itself heard. And probably for you empaths out there and you sensitives, you've probably been feeling the energy um, more so. Yeah. So we all have different ways that we experience energy. Angela says, was a cruisy week. Yeah. That kinda you know what? That's what it felt like to me too, a cruisy week, and I don't even know the New Zealand slang for that, but I'm just guessing it's exactly what it sounds like. So, yeah, it wasn't just my 5-day fast, I just thought I'd lost my mind for a little while, and also I kinda slid into home plate with, I started a new clairvoyant development program, and I have the most amazing, uh, bright talented, incredible folks in that class, and it's really I'm so excited. We just had the first night. So that's always dicey too. But once again, I was having a very transmedium week. It was like I could hear spirit. I was getting pinged. That's what I call it, pinged, but I was hearing kind of high pitched noises in my ears. And it's not tinnitus, it's actually that I'm hearing spirit. So I really had to sit down and meditate several times, kind of when I don't, but just to speak. and to communicate with those spirits, I wanted to sit down and just ground and find out what they were looking for. And there's a lot of stuff going on. One of the other things I notice is in all my readings, every single one of the light workers that I work with, and the energy workers, and the clairvoyants who actually are teaching various things, but even those who weren't, who were just even not even necessarily aware, everyone took a step up in their energy. And I started to see just there was so much garbage and so much letting go. And I thought, well, this is interesting that so many people are stepping up to the plate to help the light brigade. Tom is saying, I've heard of when Jupiter aligns with Mars, fifth dimension, got some much needed energy around Thursday. Excellent. Yeah. I didn't really come down to earth until almost this morning. That's how it was hitting me. But welcome, Tom. Thank you for coming and sharing that. Because yeah, we're moving from the 3D to the 4D, and there's a lot of dimensional shifts. Yeah. But, sometimes I chalk it up to just me feeling it, but then when I check in, when I do my readings and things like that, I'm able to check in with folks who don't do what I do, and then I also check in with my colleagues and see how they're doing. I'm doing very well, thank you, Marianne. Welcome to you. Thanks for coming today. I know this is a different day than normal, and so interesting. We have more people. I don't know. Maybe we change it. We'll see. Um, but one of the reasons, well, one of the many reasons, obviously, I'm watching people step up in their own energy and their own awareness and their own clairvoyance. And their own knowingness. And also, I'm watching people bring in much more of their wisdom from past lives and things like that, whatever they experienced, wherever they are. So, I wanted to do this show today because the spirit world is restless and creating a little drama. So I don't know if you were experiencing a little drama. I was experiencing a lot. I actually made a post this morning. This morning? No, it was probably yesterday. Oh, yes, because that's what brought around the show. So it's kind of a good thing. I decided not to do the show because of all the drama and chaos. And I was handling so many clients from both real estate and in the clairvoyant world. And I was handling kind of so many different things. I was like, I can't do one more thing. Let's do it tomorrow. Well, now I know why. Because when I posted what I was seeing, which is the spirit world is restless and creating a little drama, I have a thread as long as your arm with everybody who is experiencing roughly something along the same lines. Yeah. I've been looking at shifts and distractions that are affecting a lot of people. And then people gave me feedback from in their comments about what was going on. So there's this distinct energy of people stepping up. And what that means is all the old begins to release, all the old beliefs, all the old systems, all the old energies that have affected us in the past. Yeah. So within those comments, I saw that people, a couple of my super amazing astrology friends commented about Pluto. I think one on my page, but Susan Lipschitz, who is freaking amazing. Susan, if you're out there, I want to have you on the show. I'll be reaching out to you probably in the next few weeks. But she had talked about Pluto moving into Aquarius. And then when someone else said it, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a little digging. And thanks to the Googles, as my friend Denise calls it, thanks to the Googles, here we are. And what I have done is I compiled, because I'm not an astrologer, but I compiled a bunch of information that actually validates what I've been looking at for the past probably 4 or 5 months, just overall at the world. Hey, Mom's here. Say hello to Mom. Say hello to Vivian. Welcome, Mom. Excellent. So, what I did is I compiled information that I think will be helpful for you. And then when we do the meditation, we'll be doing a big reset kind of around it. I like to do things around what is going on. So, um yeah. So, it's been a little wild out there, and by wild, I mean, what do they say? The natives are restless in a sense, right? On the other side. And so what is really interesting, and everybody's kind of saying hello. I'll get to the hellos. Mom's getting lots of hellos. I don't know, Mom, if you're on the phone or if you can see all these comments, but everybody's saying hello. But Pluto, the planet Pluto, is named after the Greek god of the underworld, and that planet represents all that exists beneath the surface. So that's very interesting, and it's a complete connection with sort of what I've been looking at is all the things underneath that are starting to bubble up for all of us. Pluto's change of signs from Capricorn into a square, a square from Capricorn into Aquarius is a significant astrological event because it takes that planet 248 years to orbit the sun and make its journey through all 12 zodiac signs. So that 248 years. So this recent shift from Capricorn to Aquarius, and again, it's today, January 20th, 2024, is a major turning point for all of us. Yeah. I mean, I know I've heard various, oh, this is the age of Aquarius or that is the age of Aquarius. But I'll tell you what, as I was compiling all this information from many, many different sources, what I started to kind of look at is wait a minute, maybe this is the age of Aquarius. And that's actually what is being discussed and talked about. We are ushering in a new era of transformation, change, and shifts that is going to last for nearly 20 years, which is amazing. That is a long time, 20 years. Yeah. So I want to give you a little bit of history that I mined from around town. Pluto, obviously, it's very slow if it takes 248 years to complete one cycle. But the last visit to Aquarius, so not just the cycle, the 248 years, but the last visit to Aquarius was back in the 1700s. And I was reading somewhere, and I don't have a note on it or anything like that, but there was something about what was going on at the time. And I believe it was the Civil War and the French Revolution were right around that time. Yeah. And so that's really interesting, all that upheaval that was going on then. So Pluto first actually entered Aquarius last year, March 23rd, 2023. And then it retrograded back into Capricorn in June of 2023, right? So today it re-entered Aquarius. So it came out of its retrograde phase. So think back to what you were doing in June of last year or March of last year, or even what was going on in the world at that time. Yeah. So this is really the official start of the let's say the long-term stay in this sign. Now it is going to kind of dip back into another retrograde, I think right around September 1st. Any of my astrologers can pipe up if they know the exact dates, but it's going to go back into Capricorn for a few months. But what I think is really interesting about that from an energy standpoint is that it went into Aquarius and then gave us a little bit of breathing room to reflect, review, revise, rejuvenate, right? Because it's not just mutually exclusive to Mercury retrograde, right? Any kind of the planets, we want to go back and we can reflect, right? So it gave us like a pause. Yeah. And so now we start this, we go back for kind of a longer time, January through September, so a 9-month period, like having a baby, right? Where we will get a pause. But by November 19th, Pluto's going to make its final entry into Aquarius, where it will stay until 2023. Now, that is really significant. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I find these aspects really fascinating when something is going to stay with us. That means when I read that, right, energetically, not just doing the numbers or doing the planets or doing the stars, what it looks like to me is anytime we're in that space, we can make change and more change and more change. So this is like a 20-year cycle that is just beginning for all of us. Yeah. So before entering Aquarius, Pluto was in Capricorn for 16 years, which, and I think you'll find this interesting, I did anyway, it is a sign associated with tradition, authority, and structures, our traditional structures. So we saw a lot of transformations in the last 16 years in the world, right? I didn't do any of the history. We would be here for longer than the hour that I would want this show. But if you go back and look at what was happening in the past 16 years, there were a lot of transformations in politics, in finance, in global and power dynamics, but also in the spiritual community, in the spiritual sense. 16 years ago, I would not be sitting here doing a YouTube talking about Pluto moving into Aquarius and how that's going to affect all of us and doing a meditation about it, which is amazing. The technology in 16 years is just made all kinds of transformations, shifts, step ups, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's all global. So with Pluto moving into Aquarius, the focus shifts to innovation, humanitarianism, social change. It means that all of us can expect increased awareness, not just within ourselves, but there will be a clearing so that we are more aware, but in the world, right? There's going to be shifts, big shifts in our collective consciousness, and more people interested in connecting with their own spirit and doing more for the collective, for the world, for nature, for our societies, and really preserving things. So this is a super interesting time. And again, it wasn't just that I read this information and copy it for you. I actually look at the energy of this as we go. So Aquarius is also associated with maybe individuality, but we're moving away from the status quo. It is not, wasn't I talking last week about you do it and giving up our power to the status quo while we are busy shopping and doing our things, right? But we're going to be moving away from the status quo. And as we turn our attention inward, it actually helps us connect with others and relate to others in a much different and much more open space. So what's going to happen as these shifts occur is this is going to challenge in a huge way our existing power structures, all of them. The global world power structures. They don't want the light because you can't control people who are seeing what you're doing, who are knowing and using their own wisdom. Now, this doesn't mean we split and we splinter and we don't have ways because we all need to support each other, right? But it challenges the power structures as they are as we move towards greater equality and freedom for everyone. Not just one over here or one over here. So for everyone, and I know I'm breezing through this. If you have any comments, please do, drop them in your comments wherever you're at on Facebook or on YouTube. I'm going to take a sip for a moment. Because this is some good stuff. At least I think it's good stuff, especially when one of the things I love about astrology is when it completely meshes with what I've been looking at. And I have just been looking at this for months. And it's not that I need the validation of what I'm looking at, but I always find it fascinating how it comes together and how it works together. There's no separate thing. As long as we don't consider that this thing is better than that thing, that's a divide. Yeah. So it's just fun to look at the energy and kind of see. So, this, hi, Ivory. Oh my goodness. She says, love you talking about this. I've been super into researching this too. Yay. See, it all works together. Oh, I should probably leave it up there so that people can actually read it. I was going so quickly on that. But yeah, that's, do some research. It's really fascinating how it's not just about the astrology though, right? It's the energies that we are all feeling, because the impact of the shift is gonna depend on your birth chart, your life circumstances, how you choose to move through the world, if you even decide to pay attention to it or work with the influences of it. But everybody at some level is going to experience this transformation, this shift in these dynamics at some level, internal and externally. Yeah. So we're going to have internal shifts and changes. And then, of course, as the internal changes, that's when our external changes, as we step up, whether it's to support each other, whether it's to work towards a new energy, cultivating a new energy in the space on the planet. It's all a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now make no mistake, anytime we take a step up in our energy, it means that there's we have to engage in it. I was reading the most amazing piece about we have to engage in love. We have to engage in what's going on in the world, whether we like it or not. We can't just go on a mountaintop and hide. Yeah, it was a really fascinating piece. And now I'm sorry that I didn't kind of grab it so that I could go back to some notes about it, because that would have been perfect for today. But it was really interesting because what we have to do as individuals is, as we are meditating, as we are increasing our awareness, expanding our space, right? It means that we have to heal ourselves. It means that we have to look at our deepest fears and shadows and let go of those outdated patterns, those old beliefs, and we need to embrace the new possibilities that are coming through. Yeah. So Richard's saying, feels like sensitives are being called upon to guide others through the new energy. Yeah. And it doesn't just feel like that. It actually is that. And it actually, I see that all the time. So thank you for bringing that up, because people who are sensitive are now starting to learn the tools that they need so that they don't have to be the effect of all the energies in the world. that we don't, and I say that, I keep saying they, I don't know what they, like, I have days that I can't go out of the house because I just don't want to deal with the energies in the world, but we have to engage in them. We have to be in them and hold our space, hold our light. So yeah, sensitives are probably the first folks who are stepping up to learn these tools and to own their space in a different way and to own their light, to guide those through. We are all lighthouses in our own way, in our own right. Yeah. So overall, there's going to be more. I mean, I talked about technology when Pluto was in Capricorn, but there's going to be even more advancements and breakthroughs. Artificial intelligence is going to actually help, not hinder. I know some of you resist it. Really, you got to clear that energy, because this is, it might be artificial, but it is intelligent, and it can help with, you know, discover cures for things. But there's going to be real breakthroughs there. Virtual reality, I don't even know what that's going to look like, because we're basically living in some computer game anyway. So I think we are already in a virtual reality, but there's going to be a lot of other technologies that step up that can reshape our world. I mean, think of anything. Look at how the computer reshaped our world. And now we have computers on our phones. It's crazy, right? I mean, who would think? There's going to be a lot of kind of social stances, right? Movements for equality and justice are going to kind of grow. We're going to see some societal reforms, and we're seeing this already in the world. Look at all of kind of what is going on in the world, where everyone's being called out. The status quo, the the Me Too movement, all of those things. And remember, I said that Pluto is the kind of the underworld, isn't it? Yeah. And so all those things in the what's been underlying, what we haven't been seeing, those things are starting to come to light, what's really going on. Yeah. And it's I can't even say what's really going on, but what we have created that we haven't addressed, that we let kind of go under the radar. I'm going to say that. And Josie Ann, welcome. So good to see you. You looked beautiful the other day. I hope you got my note. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you looked amazing. This woman took a picture, like, with just lipstick on, and was just absolutely radiant and stunning. And I just want to know, you know, I want to do that. Oh goodness. All right. So there's going to be a lot of reforms coming. I think we can all have a little bit of hope about those things happening. And even at let's say the spiritual level, there's going to be a lot of changes in the collective consciousness. Yeah. There's going to be growing awareness of our interconnectedness, because really we are all spirit, we are all one. We are all part of a spiritual flow. And more people are going to want to relate in that space with the interconnectedness, not being alone, not being isolated, not being separate. We are really shifting towards a more collaborative and sustainable way of living. I don't know. I think that looks like, a really good thing. And interestingly enough, all this rockiness that we've been experiencing is really par for the course. It's been the energy that I and several of my colleagues have been looking at, but it's gonna smooth out. Yeah. Because I think that there's a lot to look forward to. And 20 years in the course of however old the earth is just a blip, isn't it? It's just a blip. but we're going to feel that growth period as we move towards this collaborative place. So, truthfully, if you're interested in learning more about Pluto's transit in Aquarius and how that might affect you personally, please do check with a professional astrologer. And believe me, I have several in my wheelhouse. If you don't know any, we've had some on the show. Anthony Pico, Tony is actually, I'll be on his show, I think, sometime in March again. He's amazing. Susan Lipschitz is another one who actually was the one that sort of guided me, or I want to say woke me up just by her comment on my Facebook post. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, this is something. Yeah. So check with a professional, Natasha, that we had on the show a while back, who is just amazing. So yeah, we've had some folks here. So the astrologers can help you interpret the influences, the specific ones, the nuances, right, of this transit based on your birth chart, your time of birth, like all of that. So yeah, so far so good. How we doing out there? Is everybody doing good? Say hi, y'all hanging there? So basically, Pluto moving into Aquarius is going to be our most intense influencer. Yeah. And while Pluto's change of signs is going to influence what's going on in our lives, I want to remind you, and I've said this before, and I will keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it. It is ultimately up to us how we choose to respond to the influences that are presented to us. We are not victims or tied to the astrology. Astrology is here to guide us, not weigh us down. I always say astrology is a guidepost, not a hitching post. It's not something that's going to hold us back just because a certain influence is there, or that there's some aspect to it. Yeah. But it's definitely there and can help guide us as we go. So this is a huge, not just close in, but this shift into Aquarius is an opportunity for everyone to grow and to create change in this world. But just do recognize that as we release the built up energies and power structures crumble, we are not going to be without our challenges. Yeah, because the bottom line is, with awareness of the potential influences, we can better navigate the changes with a lot more neutrality. And, I love the old hashtag, the more you know, because we have to know. We don't know what we don't know until we know it. And that's really the big dog deal. So right there. And so Pluto's moving into Aquarius, gonna be there for the next 20 years. It's creating transformation, major shifts. This planet of death and rebirth is going to influence all of us. And it doesn't have to mean a physical death. Anytime we talk about death, it can be the death of, let's say, where we are, and a rebirth and an excitement and hope and enthusiasm for what is to come, right? That's what we're birthing here. That's what's coming on. The world right now is incredibly invalidated. We have a lot of mental health issues and things like that. I call mental health issues, by the way, transmediumship, known by any other name, right? And I think, and I hope that we start to get people more grounded and more centered, and give people tools where they can release the pain because that sometimes kind of creates that mental angst, that mental, um, when people are in so much pain and they don't know what to do with it, they lash out. So let's hope that this kind of Pluto aspect helps that along as well. So that's what I've got to say about that. My gosh, I can't even believe I have now been talking for 40 solid minutes. Are you and you have stuck with me, and we're not done yet because we're going to get into our meditation, but I want to do a little station identification, and if anybody has any questions, please take a moment to write them in the comments while I'm kind of doing my station identification thing. So, gosh, if you are enjoying what we are doing here, first of all, I'm Debbie from Spirit Light Insight. It's at the top, it's at the banner um, of spiritlightinsight.com. And if you're liking what we're doing, if you're on YouTube, please do subscribe, like, and share. And if you're on Facebook, you can pop over to YouTube, but definitely like and share the pieces, whatever we're doing here, because that helps spread the word. And one of my sort of intentions is, and purpose for doing these, is to give people more mind fuel, food for thought. The more you know, right? Because when we don't know, we can be fearful. But when we do know, and when we have our space and we have our energy, we don't have to live in fear. We can actually look at it. So if you like what's going on, do subscribe, like, and share the channel. We've got, what is happening in the world today? If you want to schedule a reading, let's see, where's that? I do have session availability starting next week. I was pretty booked up. Actually, I've been fully booked for the past 2 weeks. So if you're thinking about it, do book a session with me before it gets too long. That would be very helpful. If you're enjoying this, I always, if you want to leave a virtual tip, feel free to do that. All the links are going to show up in your in the comment thread. So anything you need, otherwise you can just kind of point your phone here, I can't do this, or it's up in that little corner there. You can actually do that. All is appreciated. Nothing's appreciated as well. It doesn't matter. Your presence is my gift. It is the present that I will hold dear. But for now, let us jump into the closing meditation and the reset for all of you. Are you ready? Are you ready for that? Because we're sliding into home base with this. But we're going to be clearing resistance and fear about any kind of power shifts. So why don't you go ahead and give yourselves a breath, and you can be seated with your feet on the floor. If you're not already, please just kind of sit in a chair or on a couch, put a pillow behind your back so that your spine is supported, and just begin to relax. Bring yourself into a place of relaxing completely. And close your eyes or soften your gaze, and you can turn your eyes downward and your attention inward. And begin to quiet whatever thoughts are going by. And you don't really need to do anything about it. Just let your thoughts float by like little clouds in your mind. And give yourself a breath. Bring some oxygen into your lungs to feed your body and fuel your body, to fuel your cells. Inhale a new, fresh energy and allow it to dissolve any tension or stress that you're experiencing. And then go ahead and exhale. Just let it all go. And you can just start this breathe and release cycle as you let go of anything that is no longer serves you even. And then move your attention behind your eyes in the center of your head. If you're not sure where that is, you can actually put your one finger here and one finger here and draw an imaginary line that goes through, and where it meets in your head is where it is. And imagine that you're in a beautiful room, a comfortable sanctuary, a place where you are in charge. And give yourself a breath. And just imagine that you're turning on a light, or there's a beautiful golden sun in the room, lighting up the entire space. While you're in the center of your head, I'd like you to imagine that you are standing in the middle of that space and declare yourself and really begin to own the center of your head. Just say, I am, and repeat your name. And begin to own the whole center of your awareness for yourself. Now imagine pulling up a chair in the center of your head and have a seat. And notice if there's anyone in that space with you. And if there is, go ahead and invite them out. Just imagine there's a door to the left of the center of your head, and that you're going to invite out any energy that's in your head, any thoughts, any of your growth period. Just invite it out so that you're in there with your own personal gold sun in a space of quiet and calm. Now, from the center of your head, go ahead and say hello to the base of your spine, the tip of your tailbone, where your first chakra is located. Say hello to that first chakra. And then say hello to the earth, the center of the earth, the very center. And just imagine that you are creating a connection between the tip of your tailbone and the center of the earth. I like to use a tree to connect. You can just see a beautiful, sturdy tree rooted into the ground and then kind of flatten the top and sit on top of it. And give yourself a breath as you see the roots of that tree going all the way into the center of the earth. And then go ahead and breathe and release, and begin to release any energies that have been stirred up during our chat earlier. Any energies that you would like to release. And you can even begin to see that release like a beautiful waterfall, just kind of leaving your space. And it's going to go all the way down into the center of the earth, where Mother Earth is going to welcome it with open arms and recycle it and send it back to wherever it came from. And you don't have to worry about letting go of any of your own energy, because if you do, it's going to come right back to you. But just breathe and release anyone else's energy that might have gotten in your space. Maybe you were walking around town, or you went to work and somebody saw your bright, shiny soul and they got their icky on your pretty. And just go ahead and let that go. Anything you might have picked up. Go ahead and inhale deeply and just feel that air filling up your lungs. Just repeat this few times where you give yourself a breath, and then as you exhale, you can just release down that grounding, down that connection with the earth, letting the earth support you, grounding yourself in the present moment. Say hello to your body and go ahead and just bring your awareness to each part of your body, starting from your toes and then moving up your legs to your knees, to your hips, to your belly. Say hello to your chest and your arms, your neck, your head. Say hello to that whole body, starting at your toes and moving all the way up to the crown of your head. And as you focus on each area, just imagine a beautiful, warm, golden light enveloping and revitalizing that part of your body, and just begin to feel any tension just melting away. Give yourself a breath and be in that beautiful space behind your eyes. One of the beautiful things about being in that center of head space and in charge is that you become the observer, and you're no longer the effect of all the energies that are outside of you, including the astrology we were talking about before, as Pluto makes its move into Aquarius today. So for our weekly reset, go ahead and give yourself a breath and just begin to let go of any energy and attention points that you've had on you, any kind of energy that you've been responsible for that's not yours. Let go of any energy you picked up from your week, or anything that was piled on you, or even people that resisted you. Go ahead and just breathe and release all of that down your grounding. Let go of any energy that's not yours, no matter where you picked it up or why you picked it up, or might have been thrown at you. It might have been somebody might have been resisting you, but go ahead. It's not your problem. You can just let that all go. Earlier, we talked about the power dynamics, the power structures crumbling away. So give yourself a breath and begin to be aware of any place where you've got internal power struggles. And begin to let go of those power struggles. Let go of the resistance that keeps those power struggles alive and engaged. You don't need to engage in a struggle. You need to just own your space. Give yourself a breath and breathe and release as you let go of anything you've been fighting. Love yourself more. Love more. In fact, you can even breathe in love and allow that to just dissipate any power struggles that you've been having internally. Let that go right down your grounding. Let go of any resistance to power structures and change. We've talked about that in a few of our gatherings. Resistance is not only futile, but it actually keeps everything in place. It acts like glue. So give yourself a breath and begin to release any resistance to power structures, the current ones, the ones that we're starting to see the truth about, and let go of any resistance to change. That's a big one. Some of us don't want everything to change because we don't know what's going to be. How will we relate to the world? How will we go about our normal day as it changes? But when you're in your own space and in charge and being able to kind of look and see and use your own wisdom, again, you don't have to be the effect of all these energies around you. So give yourself a breath and let go of any fear of the unknown and make it the known within you. Give yourself a breath and release any energy that's stuck or stops you from moving forward. You don't have to take 248 years to move forward. That's Pluto. Pluto does that. So begin to release any energy that is stuck or stops you from moving forward. And check in with yourself, check in with your body, and be right in the center of your head again. And give yourself another deep kind of inhale breath and imagine that you are filling up all of the cells in your body with life-giving oxygen, and that as you exhale, anything that was not yours is just going to be exhaled out. Check that grounding connection and just see that flow. And notice where your energy and attention has gone and bring it right back into the center of your head. Now imagine a beautiful golden light, a golden ball, a golden sun above your head, and begin to call back all your energy and life force into this gold sun. You might even notice where you gave it away or how much of it you gave away. Maybe you gave away your energy and space when you went out to dinner, or you went to the movies, or you went shopping, or somebody annoyed you. Call it back, call your energy back into that golden sun above your head so that you can refuel your own body, so that you can replenish. Notice that shiny light. And in fact, if you want, you can even look up at it and imagine that it warms your face. It warms your whole body like being on a beach in a beautiful space. And then go ahead and bring in that gold sun right through the top of your head into your crown chakra, that energy center at the top. And just let it fill up all the areas where you released. And just, you might want to even notice where it goes. Just have a sense of that golden sun coming down and filling you up from top to bottom and bottom to top and side to side. As you're bringing in that gold sun, say hello to every part of your body. And go ahead and direct a gold sun to anywhere that feels or looks depleted. And continue to breathe deeply, absorbing energy from the sun. Imagine you're absorbing some energy from the earth to help revitalize, to help refill you. Feel, see, and know yourself as the spirit that you are, connected with the all of life. Now imagine one more golden sun above your head and call in some things that you would like. Maybe you would like some enthusiasm. Maybe you would like some hope. Maybe you would like some clarity or peace or calm. or courage or even direction. You can call in that you would like some information about direction. Just have that gold sun fill up and bring in that gold sun and fill up every part of you, all the atoms and molecules and cells, and even all the in between spaces that magnetize us together so that we are actually in this body. Have it fill up every cell of your body, that golden light filled with the things that you would like. And I'd like you to have it begin to expand within you until it begins to come out your skin and to fill up your aura, your energy field. It can just kind of go outward till it's about 6 feet around you. And imagine that you're in a bubble of your own golden light. And that gold bubble is in front of you and behind you, above you, below you, on either side of you. And it goes about 6 feet around. Bask in the sunshine of your own space. And now give yourself a deep breath and put a smile on your face as you slowly exhale. And when you're ready, bring your attention back to your body and your surroundings. Give yourself a few deep breaths more if you want, and wiggle your fingers and toes as you come back. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and look around your room. You've just brought in this beautiful newfound energy and power, and you can breathe it and bring it into the rest of your day or your weekend or your week to come, and give yourself space to shine. When you own your space and energy in the way that we just did it, and you're able to release and replenish, there's a lot of power in that, and you radiate light into the world. You touch everyone that you meet. So you might even want to give yourself a big energetic hug there and congratulate yourself for doing this. And great job, everyone. That was amazing. I'd love to hear about your experience and what you noticed in that, especially if you were doing it for the first time. Of course, I know it's going to take a minute for everybody to get to their computers. But I'm so glad that you were able to experience this and come today. I wasn't sure how it would be on a Saturday here. Of course, it's Sunday in New Zealand. But love to hear your comments. I could see everybody out there. Everybody's kind of just take a big stretch, and you might even need to stand up and look around where you are. Just really bring that energy back in. This was a lot today. My gosh, we talked about Pluto moving into Aquarius and all the transformational shifts that are going to be going on for the next 20 years, whether it's technology or in society or spiritually, and all the innovations that are going to be coming on. This is truly a time to be aware of your energy and the shifts in your inner and outer world. So this is also a time, and yes, for the next 20 years, it's never one and done because we are alive and we are here and we are doing this. But go ahead and in your own meditations, whether you're doing the kind that I just gave you or offered you, or you're doing your own, go ahead and release resistance and just notice if you are super sensitive to energy. um, that you want to be in your own bubble of light. Yeah. Let's release any resistance and engage with the transformational shifts. Embrace change and transformation and your own knowledge and wisdom. Embrace it's not necessarily about your spirit guides or someone else's knowledge. You have your own knowledge and wisdom, and mostly that's what you're operating from. You have the free will to do that. Yeah. So, gosh, we are wrapping up. Angela, you are so welcome, Angela. It was my pleasure. I know we're wrapping up the wrap up here. But what a lovely, I mean, I'm having a lovely Saturday so far. How are you? But I'm so glad that you were able to make it, Angela. I wasn't sure who was going to be here. So thank you so much for being here. And I'm glad that you got something out of it. I so appreciate you all and your willingness to listen or listen now, listen later, whenever you're listening. As I said before, readings are always available. You can book on spiritlightinsight.com. And also all that information is if you're on YouTube, it's all in the description. The links are all there. On Facebook, you can just message me. I can always send you a link, but all my links are all live everywhere. And if everything's always available. And if you're curious to learn more, our start date for the Psychic Healing Foundations class is March 6th. So we've got a little ways to go, but I'd love to have you in that class. If you've got any questions, do message me. You can find all the information for readings and anything else on my website at spiritlightinsight.com. But for now, and I don't know if anybody, yeah, we're getting some. I see you all out there, but once I sign off, but thank you all for being here. It's been an amazing Saturday and an amazing journey. And it was a crazy week. So this is like the perfect way to end this week. You're so welcome, Richard. Oh, I'm glad you're still here. I wasn't sure you were. Thank you so much for being here and going through this and supporting this. I might be on, I don't know if we're still going to do it, but I talked to Michael Arrington and Lewis Maybe and I might be on his show tomorrow. If so, I'm going to live stream from probably YouTube and Facebook page to let y'all in. But for now, and I don't know for a fact, but we did talk about it the other day. So it's a possibility that we'll come on and do some things tomorrow. But for now, for here, and y'all did great. But as with every time I sign off, do keep your spirit light in sight and shine your light for all to see. Bye-bye now.